Hey folks, wanted to share a quick reading update. It's been a little while since I've shared one of these, and so here we are. First of all, I've built a personal curriculum of things that I want to read this year, and so I'm not doing the normal reading challenge. I'm trying to read personal development, things about like just health, and then also continue reading sci-fi, fantasy, and manga and comics and that kind of stuff. And so this week, things that I finished, I listened to a audiobook from the Star Wars universe called Wayseeker, and it's some of the characters from the show The Acolyte. Indira Stokes and Vernestra Rowe are the primary characters, and it takes place before the events of The Acolyte. And a lot of people have a lot of feelings about The Acolyte. I personally, I thought it was great. I'm bummed that there's not a second season, but I do think that there's a lot of room still to play in that timeline of the Star Wars universe, and so I hope they continue to tell more of those stories with those characters. And anytime you get to listen to a Star Wars book in an audiobook, they also have all kinds of great audio texture that goes along with it. And so be sure to check those out. I borrowed that from the library. So Libby, what an awesome thing Libby is. I also read, and I've had this book for a long time, and it just took me a while to actually read it. Atomic Habits by James Clear. And this book, I've got a lot of tabs in here, a lot of things that I want to remember. But it's really a simple approach to developing the things and the habits that you want in your life and trying to break them down into smaller pieces so that you don't feel so overwhelmed. And so I really enjoyed this, and there are things I'm going to need to think about and yeah, and just kind of wrestle through. One of them is just giving yourself rewards that are good for your habits. So like things that you enjoy that you want to continue to do, tied to a habit that you want to build, and say like, so after I clear out my inbox, I can then read a comic book. Like I want to keep reading comic books. That's a reward for me. But then I also want to clear out my inbox. And so like those kinds of things you can tie together, habit stacking, all of that stuff. Yeah, James Clear. This is a great book. Atomic Habits. Check it out. I also read two more volumes of Asadora, volume 4 and 5. And this is a story about Asadora. It's in Japan, leading up to the Summer Olympics that were in Japan in 1964, I believe. But there's all kinds of fallout from the end of the World War, and people are still trying to recover economically. And then there's also this giant kaiju monster situation that is the government's trying to keep a secret, but Asadora, in the first volume, her family disappeared at the same time that this kaiju showed up. And so there are some interesting things. She's trying to figure out like what this monster is. But then also in this one in particular, volume 5, her friends are trying to like uh, achieve some goals, and there's some relational tension between two of the friends, and some people who don't have their best interests in mind. And so I would highly recommend Asadora. This is just a really great book, and I love I just love his work. Naoki Urasawa's art is just so great, and the way he transitions between pages. I'm trying to find a good. Let's just go with this one. This is a color page. Most of it's in black and white, but the way he transitions between stories on the page is also just really gripping, and you just keep flying through. He's a great writer, great artist. Highly recommend. And then also, I haven't finished this book yet, but I am enjoying it thoroughly. I'm reading Player Piano by Kurt Vonnegut, and the point of this book seems to be like, how do we handle with automation? And I in the mid-century of America, and there's all kinds of automation happening, and people are losing their identity and their sense of purpose. And how do we move forward? And I think it's interesting that today, in our time of AI and people trying to find these shortcuts to automate their lives. The danger is, are we losing what truly matters? And so I'm really enjoying Vonnegut's work. And so, yeah, so it's just one of the classics that I'm trying to read. And so I'm reading it in one of the Library of America volumes, which I love. Those books are those anthologies are just great. And so, yeah, Kurt Vonnegut, check him out. So yeah, so that's a quick reading update. I hope you all are doing well. What are you reading? Leave a comment, like, subscribe, ring the bell, whatever you're watching this on. But yeah, what are you reading? I'd love to hear. Talk to you later.